Well done. So bring yourself to a really comfy position. Maybe you're going to grab your blanket and have that in the back of your head as well. I'm going to do that now. So just have that at the back of your head or your cushion or whatever's going to feel good. And then you're lying down. Get yourself stretched out with the legs. Maybe even have them a little bit wider than hip width. Let's bring our palms to face up, and then just on our first few breaths, we could close our eyes. Just start to notice yourself on the mat. Notice maybe the back of the heels, the calves. Starting to notice your body this morning. Maybe the back of the pelvis, the glute muscles, back of the shoulders. Starting to soften everything. Soften the face. And just bring yourself to our class. And start with our yoga breath. Inhaling and exhaling, just a gentle breath. We've been working on maybe inhaling in through the nose, yes, but maybe it feels quite good to exhale out through the mouth. And that's absolutely fine. So whichever kind of works. If we can try the inhale through the nose, that's great. But then it could be out through the nose or back out through the mouth. So whichever you can tap into most easily this morning. Maybe while we're here, we could add in our ujjayi breath, that slight restriction at the back of the nose. So on the inhale, just closing off the back of the nose and sucking in the air. We can hear that air travel in through those nostrils and into the nose. If we're breathing out through the mouth, we can just relax. And if we're breathing out through the nose, we could notice that ujjayi breath on the way out as well. If we're breathing out through the mouth, we could hear the sound of our breath just with a gentle sigh. So we're noticing our body, we're noticing our breath. Maybe we're noticing the mind just starting to calm a little. Our last breath here, just when you're ready. And then maybe we keep our eyes closed, or maybe we blink open our eyes, bring our legs to parallel, so the legs come in just to hip width. Can you keep your back fairly still, so your lower back is going to stay fairly close to the mat. We're inhaling both arms all the way up to the sky and over the head. So it's really tempting, isn't it, to let the back arch, which is fine, but we're just going to try and fire up those tummy muscles a little bit. Maybe take a pause with an extra breath or so. And then when you're ready, your next exhale brings the arms back to the side of the body. Flex your feet so almost your calves spring off the mat and your heels drive away from you. And then your next inhale, soft point through the front of the feet. The back stays fairly close to the mat, so start to energize those deep tummy muscles. A long inhale takes the arms over the head, and this time we'll do our exhale to press the heels away and bring the arms back, maybe reaching through the fingertips, reaching through those heels, sending the toes up to the sky one last time. Inhale, keep the back fairly close to the mat as you stretch the arms over the head, lovely. It doesn't matter if we need an extra breath. Exhale as you press the heels away and bring the arms back to the side of the body. Relaxing. Good. Then when you're ready, bring both feet flat to the floor. Allow your lower back now to rest on the mat. And then scoot the knees in one at a time to come in to a little knee hug. Fold the legs in towards you. Hold lightly onto the shins. Widen your elbows. Take a nod of your chin to chest, inhaling. And as you exhale, bring both knees a little bit closer, or bring your nose towards your knees, your thighs a bit closer to your body. Not everybody's going to add that curl up, so we could have the head on the ground absolutely fine. Take a breath in here, draw the legs in, and then as you exhale, lower your upper body down, maybe bringing the legs even a little bit closer towards you. And then relax. Notice the legs will just drift a little bit away. We'll do that one more time. Hug the knees in, take a breath in, nod your chin to chest. And exhale as you widen your elbows, soften across the collarbone and bring the nose to the knees. Take another breath in. And then on your exhale, draw the legs a little bit closer. Maybe the hips have lifted, the glutes have lifted, and exhale your way down. And then relax. Place each hand on each knee, so right hand, right knee, left hand, left knee. Inhale, open the knees wide. Find a little bit of a stretch on that inner thigh. And then exhale your way back to make that circle. We'll do that twice more in this direction. Inhale the knees wide. Exhale the legs together. Good. Inhale wide. And exhale the legs together. Good. Take a pause there. And then we'll go the opposite direction. So we're going to push the legs away on that inhale. And then exhale, circle all the way around. Doesn't have to be too big, but maybe just kind of noticing any stiffness, any restrictions, without changing anything, just noticing that. Good, then coming back to your start position, give those knees a hug again. Hold on to your right shin, draw the thigh in towards you, inhaling. And then as you exhale, your left foot taps to the floor first, and then you're reaching that left leg out to the end of the mat on that exhale there. Inhale and draw the leg all the way back, swap hands, and exhale. Now tap your right foot down, reach it long to the end of the mat. Yeah, beautiful. So you can slide the foot along the ground. We'll do that 4 more times in total. So folding the leg in on the inhale, exhaling into our, just starting on that little hip flexor stretch there. Well done. And then same to the other side. Just notice it's really tempting, isn't it, to kind of really grip the leg. So maybe just have a lightness with the hands on the shin. Still folding the leg in, 1 more each side, but just double check that the neck and shoulders aren't straining as you do that. Yeah, well done. Good, you're starting to move the body really well, just enjoying this. Good, so our last time is our right leg stretching out. Good, and then we can pop both feet to the floor. We're going to take the feet wide. So the feet can be as wide as our mat. Yeah? And then we can turn our palms up. We can inhale to the left. Yeah, we can exhale to turn the head to the opposite side. Inhale, bring the legs back, and exhale, bring your head back to the centre. So inhale now, both legs to the right side, and notice with that wider position, we're opening up into the inner thigh again, and the hips there, exhaling. Good, inhaling and exhaling as you come back, and you can change that breath if it feels better. So rolling the legs over to the left, exhaling your head to the right, inhaling, starting to move the legs, and then exhale your back to the centre. Let's go again, using the breath. Good, inhaling the legs over to our right side, exhaling, turn the head to the left. Start to move the legs, inhaling, and exhale, bring your legs back to the start. Pause there for me and then scoot the legs together and see if you can come up just onto the tippy toes. So now we can roll over to the left on the inhale, leave your head in the centre and open across your chest, and then exhale, bring the legs back to the start. So we can inhale just on the tippy toes. Maybe the feet could be on the ground, absolutely fine to do that. And then if we wanted, we could bring both knees into chest and inhale both legs over towards our left side. So now the work is a little bit more into the waist, a little bit more into the back, and nobody has to do this. We could all have our feet wide and on the ground if we wanted. But if you've got the legs lifted, you've got the knees in towards you, you're listening to the body, you're listening, is it too much for the back at this point? Inhaling and exhaling, what feels good for you? Relax your feet. Relax that lower leg one last time, whichever version we're on. Feet down, tippy toes, or with our legs lifted. And then come all the way back to our start. We'll pop our feet down to the ground. And then just come into a lovely arm circle for me. So feet can be hip width, back could be wherever feels good. And then inhale, bringing the arms up. Now it doesn't matter too much if we start to move the back here. Exhale the arms into a giant circle. Now can we go the other way? So can we inhale, the palms are facing up, the arms come back towards your head, and then exhale the arms down. Yeah, so we go the other direction. Our normal direction is up and over, isn't it? Inhaling up, Good, whatever feels good for the shoulder, and exhale, bring the arms back. And then inhale the arms wide. Good, and exhale, bring the arms back to your start position. Well done. Okay, here we go for our option. Option for all of us now. Right hand into that fleshy part of the shoulder that I was talking about. So if you put your fingertips into the back body here, you can feel the top of your scapula, the shoulder blade, can't you? Then if you come up a little bit higher, it's a soft, fleshier area. Yeah. So we're just going to give that a nice little rub and maybe turn the head towards the right as we do that. Yeah, just on that nice fleshy area, maybe even coming up to the neck, into the neck if we wanted there. We're not going to do that when we use our tennis ball. Good, now you can stay with that, just using the hand, and if you haven't got your prickly ball or your tennis ball, then that's absolutely fine. But maybe just notice that fleshy area. Good, and then take your tennis ball, mine's disappeared. Good, and you want it over your clothes, and you want to find that same area now, that same area, just enough to be able to scoop the tennis ball in, so you're adding a little bit of pressure, and then maybe find, maybe a little bit of an area that is a little bit tight, maybe gives you a little bit of a kind of like, oh yeah, and then just stay, relax into that. 5, inhale and exhale. Good. 4, so it's almost just like that little pressure point that we were doing with our feet yesterday. Good, 2 more breaths here, that's all it is, 2 more breaths. Maybe moving the head side to side as well, just noticing that. And then release. Now, as you release, just pop the tennis ball to the side, and then just allow everything to soften in that shoulder area. So you might just notice a little bit of looseness, a little bit of freedom in that shoulder. So that's just our 5 breaths. And now we do the same to the other side. So we take our left hand, we can go onto the flesh, can't we, here? That same area, so find the top of the shoulder blade, and maybe come in a little bit more to the centre of the body and a little bit higher. Yeah, so again, you might find somewhere that feels quite tight or a little bit stiff, or just a little bit of a niggle going on there. We could come up to the neck as well, give that a rub, fingertips into the base of the neck there, coming down, maybe even under that bra line, and then maybe turning our head as well as we do that. Now, again, we've got the option of staying with that same rub and staying and enjoying that. Or we've got 5 breaths where we take our tennis ball again and we find kind of a little bit of a tighter area and we stay. Yeah, so just have a little play around with that. It might be a little bit different on this side. You might be a little bit more adventurous. Good, and then we'll have 5 breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. Somewhere that's just applying a little bit of pressure, but nothing that's going to be straining, nothing that's on a bony area. Just somewhere that's just allowing that little bit of a push, a little bit of a massage in there. Last breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And then release. Put our tennis ball out of the way. Good, and then again, just relax there. Just notice if there's anything that's changed in that upper body. Turn your head from one side to the other. Well done. Okay, now take your strap for me. And can you place your strap or band around your right foot? Right foot, we'll go right foot. We all know this, everything we're doing, we're just going to go with the breath. So when you're ready, your back's resting on the mat, you can have your left foot on the ground, and then the softness in the right knee just to start with. Get yourself in a really comfy position. And then start to exhale the leg up into the band, maybe even drawing the backs of the arms down towards the mat. 8 repetitions, we're bending the knee, keeping the foot in the strap, and we're exhaling the leg up to the ceiling. So have a look at your leg for me now as repeat that. Have a look that your ankle is pretty much over your hip as you send the leg up towards the ceiling. Yeah. So, and remember how we have a look at the knee as well, don't we? So your knee is facing your same chest, shoulder. It isn't rolling into the centre of the body, and it isn't rolling away from you. So you've got quite a nice alignment with the leg, using the breath. Inhale, bend the knee, and exhale, stretch the leg up. 2 more goes. Inhale, bend. Exhale, take that stretch. Lovely. Good. And then one more time, light grip on your strap or your band. Exhale the leg up towards the sky and stay. The back of the pelvis is on the mat. The leg is lengthening up into the band. Beautiful. Take hold of your strap or band in your right hand for me. Again, nestle the back of your right arm to the mat, and then place your left hand just right onto that hip on the left side. I want this hip to stay grounded on this left side, so the back of the pelvis and the hip stay still. Softness in your right knee, and then inhale to lengthen the leg up, and exhale to take the leg over towards your right side, and then pause. Pause when you find quite a generous inner thigh stretch. Take a breath in. Breath out, maybe lengthen that right leg just a little bit more, reach it away from you. Anchor your left foot, noticing that that left hip will want to lift, but we're going to keep it grounded. Good, and then just 3 times, we're going to bend that knee on the right side, bend your right knee, and exhale to lengthen. So still in that stretch, inhale, bend, and exhale to take that lovely stretch. One more time, inhale, take a bend of the knee, exhale, stretch the leg. Good, pause again. And then inhale and exhale, bring your leg all the way back to your start position for me. Stretch the leg up one more time. Good, and then release. Open the strap and then place your left foot where the right foot was. Put the right foot down to the ground, and then just start to notice the back of your left leg. So you don't have to do anything too much to start with. So get yourself comfy then. You've swapped hands, band or strap in each hand, backs of the arms, resting on the ground if you wanted, elbows wide, right foot on the ground. Good, notice that the ankle, the knee and the hip are in that lovely alignment. Notice that your knee isn't rolling in. Yeah, it's tempting to roll in, isn't it? And it's equally tempting to roll out. We're going to have that neutral position if we can. Good, and then when you're ready, you've got the stretch down the back of the leg. You start to bend the knee. You need a little bit of pressure from the strap and the hand, and then you're exhaling the leg up. Good, enjoy that. Inhale, bend the knee, adapt. Keep moving around if you need to, readjusting the strap or the band. Now, bend the knee on the inhale. Good, and then stretch the leg on the exhale. Now, the arms don't have to do anything. All you're doing is holding onto that strap, and then you're using it just as that little bit of a lever. So the backs of the arms, the backs, the shoulders, the hand, the forearm, they're not moving at all. You've got just enough purchase to add that little bend and stretch. So you're not bending and then stretching with the arms. So just making sure as we do that again, we come to the little pause there, lengthen the leg up, make sure you've done your 8. Go back of the left side of the body there, back of the pelvis on the left, and then lengthening the leg up into the band if you find that really good stretch down the back of the leg. When you're ready, take hold of your strap in your left hand now. Place your right hand onto your right hip. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, start to lengthen the leg out towards the left side. Find that stretch without lifting the right hip. Good. Can we inhale and exhale just maybe a little bit further away from us? Anchor your right foot to the ground. Start to open up into this inner thigh area. And now start to bend the knee. So you can move your arm around there a little bit just to accommodate your stretch now. You could have it on the inside or outside or just resting on your thigh if you wanted. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Good. And then one more time. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, lengthen the leg. Beautiful. Good. Take an extra breath, noticing that really good stretch, but without lifting that right hip. Planting that right foot down. And then when you're ready, inhale and exhale the leg back up to our start. And again, find that really generous stretch down the back of the leg just for that breath. Good. We'll bend the knee. We'll take the strap and we'll put the strap to the side. Well done. We'll bring our knees into chest. We're going to take a little rock up to sitting. You're welcome to come over onto your side. So we can take a little round first, take your time. Just get into that, and then when you're ready, exhale your way to sitting. Well done. Now, we're not staying, we're going to scoot all the way around and bring ourselves onto our knees. And if we've got our blocks, we could have our blocks by the side of us. So I'm just going to grab my 2 blocks just to show you now if you're using those. And again, we're staying fairly gentle on this, guys, so we're staying fairly gentle. So we could have our high blocks, we could have our kind of moderate blocks there if we wanted, we could have 1 block. We're going to bring our left leg to cut forward. So just nice and easy, just bring that left leg forward. Today, we're not going to worry too much if the knee goes slightly further forward. We're repeating this 5 times, so it's not too worrying if we pop that knee ahead a little bit. Yeah, so we can have a stride forward, right toes are tucked, and then we've got our blocks here for support. We could have our fingertips on our block. So now when we inhale, we're lengthening, and as we exhale, we bring the hips forward just enough to start to feel that right front of thigh. And we can exhale and just ease our way back. And the blocks can then give us a little bit of height if we wanted. And again, you could be using 1 block just in front like that if you prefer. Yeah, so we'll do that again. So we're inhaling, easing forward. Have a look where your upper body is. So on this one, our upper body is fairly high. Yeah, so our upper body is fairly high. If it feels okay and you're bringing your fingertips down to the mat, then that's fine too. But just notice if we can add a little bit of height. So if we haven't got our blocks, we could have our hands just on our thigh if we wanted. So if we've got a little bit of height, we start to really get that openness through the front of the body. Yeah, so do that one more time for me. Inhaling, releasing. Inhaling, releasing, exhaling, easing forward. Now, can we bring the blocks back? Can we pull back just to our gentle half splits? We don't have to go far. Come back to that inner thigh stretch, back of thigh stretch. Can we come forward? So we can ease our way forward into our little lunge and then pull ourselves back into our half splits. Yeah, lovely. Good, and make that really gentle, so nothing forced, yeah, nothing too drastic. We can lift our front toes as well. So ease forward into our low lunge and then ease our way back into our half splits. For anybody that hasn't got the blocks, we're easing forward with the hands on the thigh. Our fingertips come down to the mat just to pull ourselves back. Yeah, we'll do that one more time. Ease ourselves forward. Good, and then pull ourselves back so we've got our fingertips to the ground. Come all the way back to your start position and then bring yourself back to your kneeling position. Ready to swap sides. So I'll do it without the blocks because I know some of us that haven't got the blocks there. So now can we bring our right leg forward, but maybe not worrying about it going too far ahead like we normally do. So we can allow that knee just to budge forward a little bit over the ankle, which again, we probably normally not do, but just for a slight change. Back toes are tucked. And then we start with this again. Inhaling and exhaling. So we can have the hand lightly on the thigh. We're easing the hips forward, not just the low lunge first. We're easing the hips forward to notice an opening in the front of the thigh of our left leg now. That's all I'm asking. The length is through the spine if we can, all the way up. Try not to necessarily lean forward into it. So notice that if we've got the shoulders over the hips, we're really getting that openness into the front of the thigh. And we're going fairly smoothly with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, just enjoying that. Just enjoying that, easing forward and then easing back. Good, we'll do that one more time. That's it, and then again we can add our half splits. So we can ease forward on the inhale. We can use our hands on our block, or we can pop our fingertips down to the mat as we exhale, pull the hips back. Yeah? Inhale, bring ourselves forward, bring our hands to the thigh. And then exhale, bring the hands down and ease our hips back. Yeah? If you've got 1 block, you could have your hand just up, fingertips on the block. So you have that in front of you, in front of your tummy there, and then easing back, just using that as a little bit of balance. Yeah? So whichever works for you, you could have it at the side. So you're here, and then you've got that as a little bit of a lean as you pull back. Good, we'll do that 3 more times, easing forward on the inhale, easing back, really gentle, just enough, just almost like we were in the stretch with our strap. So just enough to open up into the back of the thigh. We've got 1 more to do. Good, easing forward and then easing back. Beautifully done, gang, beautifully done. Good, and then when you're ready, just pop yourself onto your knees, maybe pop your blocks to the side, and then bring yourself just into a child pose. So knees can go wide and we can sit the hips back. Now the fun starts. Ease your way back, bring your forehead down towards the mat. Reach the hands out to start to notice the back of the body. And then draw ourselves all the way back up to kneeling. Now you can leave the knees wide here, bring the hands forward and bring ourselves into our lovely puppy pose. So some of us will drop straight onto the forearms and then bring our head down towards the mat. Some of us will have a longer arm position, firm up the hands and rest the forehead lightly on the mat from there. With our puppy pose, remember our hips are directly over our knees rather than heading back into our child pose position. 3 breaths here. Inhaling wide into the back body, looking good. Exhaling, inhaling into the ribs and the back body, maybe even the front of the body. Really enjoying that through the back of the shoulders, the chest, maybe into those armpits as well. Maybe all the way down the arm to the fingertips. Last breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, then when you're ready, we can slide the hands back a little bit, come back to 4-point kneeling, bring ourselves just to that kneeling position, ready to tuck the toes, lift the hips, we're not staying, we're going to tiptoe the feet all the way to the front edge of our mat, and then round ourselves slowly up to standing. And we've got 2 rounds of our sun salutation, just to add a little bit of heat and warmth. Go with me, adapt where you need, gang. And I'm going to mirror you. So my right leg, your right leg. Yeah, so I'm just mirroring what you're doing. So when you're ready, take a breath in, reach the arms up to the sky. We have got a little bit of sunshine now. I can see it just peeking through. Bend the knees and take an exhale as we fold forward down towards the mat. So just a nice gentle sun sal, nothing too drastic as we do this now. Good, inhale as we bring the hands to the shins. I'm hoping that the legs have warmed up a little bit here now, and we can enjoy that rather than it being too tight for us there. Fold again for me, all the way down, and then take a moment just to let your head hang. When you're ready, the bend of the knees, exhale your left leg all the way back to the back of the mat, lower the back knee down, and we're going to inhale our way to our Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. Good, we're not staying. We're bringing the hands all the way back down to the mat, either side of your right foot. Exhale your right leg all the way back to the back of the mat. Pop to the knees. Good, exhale our way down, lowering our chest to the mat. Bring the hands slightly further forward and inhale either to Sphinx, so our Sphinx pose, or maybe that slightly higher lift. What's going to be good for you now? Lower down on the next exhale, inhale the hands back, and then exhale our way through to our knees. Take a moment to pause. Retuck the toes, take a breath in. Firm up the hands, downward facing dog on your exhale. Do not worry if you are keeping the knees bent and your heels lifted. What I do want you to feel, I want you to focus on the length through your torso. So you're thinking of pulling your hips all the way up to the sky, lengthening through both sides of your waist. Well done. Now, as we've warmed up those hamstrings, maybe the heels can lower a little bit closer to the mat, maybe not. Take a breath in, bend the knees, and then on your exhale, can your left leg come back all the way to that front thumb, to that left thumb? So your left foot comes back to that left thumb, we lower the back knee, and then we raise the arms up, and now we're on the other side. So inhale all the way up to our start, lovely. Reach through the fingertips. Again, notice those hips might feel a little bit looser, and then we bring our hands down towards the mat. Lift the back knee, so your right knee lifts, inhaling, and then exhale, your right foot comes back to join the left. Fold again on the next exhale, and then inhale, take your rise all the way back up to our mountain pose. Yeah, one more round. Inhale the arms all the way up to the sky, exactly as we've just done, guys. And then soften through the knees. Swan dive, maybe a straighter leg position if we're feeling energized in the legs, maybe not. Good, let the head hang as you fold on the exhale. Inhale, slide the hands up to the shins. We lengthen through the back of the body. Well done. Looking at, so hands are on the shins. Sit bones heading out. Chest is lifted. Chest is lifted, gang. So your chest is lifted. So you've got your hands on your shin and you're up. Now we've got a tabletop here. Now and then fold again for me. Bend the knees. This time it's our right leg going back. So your right leg takes that long stride back. The back knee lowers to the ground and we inhale, rise again. Don't worry if we're coming to prayer or maybe we've reached the arms all the way up to the sky. Yeah, lengthen all the way up through the crown of the head, back toes are tucked. Beautifully done. Okay. Hands come all the way down to the mat. Remember, take the options if you need them. You can come to tabletop here if it feels better. Back toes are tucked, back knee lifts, and now our left leg takes that long stride back to find our plank pose. We're not staying. We're popping straight to the knees. Readjust if you need to, or tuck the elbows in and lower on the exhale down towards the mat. We can scoot the legs a little bit further behind us, pop onto the forearms and come into our Sphinx pose, or we could rise up to our low cobra, or even our full cobra if we wanted. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to do that necessarily. All the way down on the next exhale, bring the hands back under the chest there a little bit, and then our exhale brings us back to our knees. Well done. We can take a few moments here just to readjust. Yeah, maybe the hands slightly further forward of under the shoulder. Tuck the toes, feet to hip width. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Well done. Pull the sit bones all the way up towards the corner of the wall and the ceiling there. Really lengthen out through the side of the body as well. You could be in cat pose. You could be in a little swimming if you wanted instead. Good, maybe we can exhale and lower the heels down towards the ground, getting a really good stretch into the calf and the Achilles tendon. Inhale, one last breath. Exhale, the sit bones even higher to the ceiling. Bend the knees, look at your right thumb for me. Pick up your right foot, take your right foot to your right thumb. Exhale. Good, we can have a little few goes to get there. And then we can lower our, no we don't. We're going to bring our left foot to join the right. Left foot joins the right. Oh no, it doesn't. We pop down again. Sorry, we pop down again. Hang on a minute, come back to your hand. Should I ask that? Good, and then rise up again for me, inhaling all the way up. Good, and then exhaling to bring the hands down. Sorry, I missed that one. Good, lift the back knee for me, take a breath in. And then on the exhale, bring your left foot to join the right. Fold again, exhaling, and then inhale as we rise all the way back up to our star position. Sorry about that, I lost what I was doing there completely. Well done. Okay, so, are we a little bit warmer? Are we a little bit warmer? A little bit? Tiny bit. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Nobody's speaking to me now. So, let's have a look what we've got next. So we're now going to we're going to have a little practice of trikonasana. So and then we're just going to add it into a little tiny sequence. So what I'd like is for us to come wide, feet wide on the mat. And again, I'm mirroring you. So this is my right leg, it's your right leg. Yeah. So our feet are wide. And notice there, we've maybe got, a little bit of looseness in the inner thighs. We're feeling fairly warmed up there. What I'd like then is both feet just to be facing forward to start. And now when we turn out our right toes towards the right, what I'd like, if possible, is your right heel in line with the instep of your left foot. Yeah? So you're going to draw a line from your right heel to that left instep. Yeah? So in trikonasana, in this triangle pose, legs, we're thinking strength in the legs, and we're thinking about a stretch into the side body as well. So really nice lengthening through the side body. So that's what we're going to aim for today. So when we're here, we're thinking now about lengthening up through the spine and bringing our arms to our shoulder position. What I'd like then is you to think of your right shin heading forward and your right thigh pulling up. so that this right knee joint feels quite nice and stable. So imagine your right shin is shining forward, and at the same time, your right thigh is pulling up towards your hip. So you've got a really good stability in this right leg forming. Outside edge of your left leg grounded. We've got some strength in this left thigh as well. Good. So then from here, we want length in both sides of the waist. We're going to reach out towards our left side. So from our torso, we're reaching out towards the right. Yeah. So we're not leaning at this point. We're just going to do that kind of Egyptian waist move. So we're just going to lengthen out towards our right side. We take a breath in, and then on our exhale, we're going to tip. So as we tip, we're going to keep the length in this underside body and the length in the overside body there, the top side, so that our hand is just going to rest somewhere on the shin. Yeah, so our hand just rests somewhere on the shin. Open your palm for me. That's it. Yeah, lovely. Good. So you're going to be on your thigh if that feels better, but your palm's open and you're resting on your shin. Well done. So then we can look ahead, but we're going to reach the top arm up towards the ceiling. Our chest is open, and now we've got pretty much a straight line from our fingertips, haven't we? Right fingertips all the way up to those left fingertips. What I'd like with this top arm is imagine that you're trying to push something away from you. So you imagine you're just pushing your left palm into something that allows the shoulder and the back of the shoulder to energize a little bit. Remember, the back body, we're pretending it's against a wall, aren't we? So this is our triangle position. Now have a look down towards your right foot. Pull that right shin forward and imagine your right thigh is pulling up towards your hip. Take a breath in. Now I want you to now imagine that your top rib, this is our last bit, your top ribs are pulling down to your bottom ribs. Yeah, so that gives us a lovely length through the spine. Imagine those top ribs hugging into the bottom ribs, and that lengthens us out. Take a breath in, bend the knee a little bit on that right side, and then come all the way back to our start. Release, and then we'll just practice that on the other side. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Yes, thank you. Okay, so now can we turn our left toes out to the left? Our right toes turn to the front edge of the side edge of the mat. Good, and then have a look, heel in line with your instep. Chest is lifted, arms come up to shoulder height, and again that same connection with the muscles of the legs there. I want the left shin to imagine you're pulling that left shin forward, and at the same time you're going to engage this left thigh. So in your mind, your shin heading forward, and then pulling up this left thigh in towards your hips. And notice how strong you are in that left leg. Good, then from here we can have the outside edge of our right foot to the ground. We're reaching out on the inhale from the waist, that reach out so the fingertips are heading over your toes. Yeah, imagine your back shoulders against the wall, back of the shoulders against the wall. And then on your exhale, we can tip. And as we tip, we can bring the back of the hand just to rest on our thigh or our shin. We might even have our right hand on our hip if that feels better. We can stay looking ahead just as we energize both legs. So again, that shin heading forward, the thigh pulling up. You can now have that sense that your right hand is pushing into something. So you're almost pushing in towards your camera to firm up the shoulder. Yeah, lovely. Good. And then from here, we can then hug the top ribs to the bottom ribs, and that gives us length in the waist. Beautiful. Good. Take a breath in. And a breath out, beautiful, and then bend the left knee, inhaling, and as we exhale, we'll come all the way back to our start. Very nice. We'll add a little bit extra when we come to that in a moment. Good, and then can we bend the knees? Can we jump in? Good, and then can we jump out? Good, can we jump in? Good, and can we jump out? We just keep doing that for a week. So, wide-footed forward fold. Both feet are facing forward, hands are on the hips. Just enjoy again. So from here, have a look down at your feet. You can have a little 10 to 2 if that feels a little bit better in the feet, in the hips, or you can have your feet facing forward, whichever works for you. Then from here, we're tipping forward. So hands are on the hips and we're hinging forward. Yeah, so we've got our wide-footed forward fold. So you're your feet facing forward or a little bit of an angle if you want it. I'll show you from the side. This is where your block's quite handy. Have you noticed I'm matching this morning? Mat, block, trousers, top. Gosh, it's all going on, isn't it? So hands on the hips for me, lengthen out through the spine. Now hips stay over the ankles, we're reaching long through the crown of the head, and notice then you might need a little bit of abdominal strength just to stop the back from hammocking or rounding there. So just maybe add that little bit of sense of strength in the centre. Absolutely fine to bend the knees. And then from here we're going to slide the hands down to the outside edge of the ankle. Take a breath in and a breath out. So again, we can have our block maybe on the mat, just under our chest. And then see if we can fold down towards our block or the mat or the floor. The hands come to the ankles, take a breath in. And then on the exhale, maybe we've got our fingertips on our block. Maybe we've got them on the mat. Yeah, lovely. Now notice a lovely stretch again, back into those hamstrings, back into those inner thighs. Maybe use the toes, a little bit of a grip with the toes, just to help us stabilise there. Now, when you're ready, could you place your right hand onto the block or the mat or the floor, wherever you are. Right hand's there. Inhale and open up to our left side. So we start to lift the left arm. We can use the hand on the hip if that feels better, or lengthen the arm all the way up to the sky. So your right fingertips on your block, your mat, your high block, your books, whichever's going to give you a little bit of support, bit of access as we rotate. Take a breath in. Good, and then on the exhale, gradually come all the way down and bring the hands back to your block, take a pause. Now squirrel the feet in just a fraction, use your block again if you want it, and come to Skandasana. So now we ease over to our right side and we've got a lovely stretch on that left inner thigh. Yeah, that's it. Good, take a breath in and a breath out here. Now we could then bring the hands inside that right foot, your right foot. We could take the left hand and place it a little bit behind us and peel the toes up to the ceiling on our left side. So that drops us into our right heel. So our right hip in towards our right heel. So that's all we've done. We've gone from here and we've just got a little bit lower, opening up into that left inner thigh. We don't have to do that. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, both feet come down to the ground. We bend the knees, slide the hands all the way up on the inhale to the hips. Heels come in, toes turn out, and carry on lifting to star pose. Open the chest, open the palms, reach the fingertips back, firm up the thighs, lengthen up through the crown of the head, maybe even shining the forehead up to the ceiling. And then exhale, release everything down. Back to our trikonasana. So now our left toes face out to the left, our right toes face towards the side edge of the mat, heel in line with your instep there, lengthen up through the spine, float the arms. Inhale, reach out through both ways, so your right fingertips are over your right toes. Exhale as we float, the back of your hand towards your shin, your left arm up towards the ceiling. So your right hand on your right shin and your left arm up towards the ceiling. So you've got a lovely stretch now all the way up from the fingertips of our right hand to the fingertips of the left. Beautiful. Firm up your right thigh. Send that right shin forward for me. Option, look down at your right hand and slip your right hand behind your ankle. So just coming to the outside edge of your ankle. Yeah, lovely. See if you can get a little bit lower. Then pull the front ribs in, scoop the tummy muscles in a little bit, take a breath in, look up to our left thumb. And then on the exhale, soften your right knee and come all the way back up to our start position. Bring the feet to face forward. Bring the heels in if we want, forward fold again. Inhale, and as you exhale, tip forward. Yeah, lovely. Lengthen all the way through the spine, starting to notice that pull on the inner thighs. Hands come either side of the hips, they are resting on the hips, and we can exhale our way down to our forward fold. So easing our way down. Again, we might have our block. Could be the long block, could be the short, or could be the flat block, whichever feels better for you. So when you're ready, we've got left fingertips to the block or just under our face. Good, and then from here we start to rotate round. So now it's our left fingertips on the block and we're rotating round towards the right. So you should be just mirroring me. Yeah, so your right arm lifts, fingertips are really, the block's really useful just to get a little bit of height, a little bit of support. You can be really high up as well, so you don't have to worry about getting into those hamstrings and inner thighs too much there. Good, take a breath in. And on the outward breath, slowly come down, unraveling all the way back to our start. Again, we can use our block. So now we head the fingertips over to the left side. So your fingertips over to your left foot, left inside of foot. Again, like I say, we could be on the block. Now we've got that stretch on the right inner thigh. Skandasana, really an inner thigh stretch there. Good, left heel down, right heel down, take a couple of breaths. Option is to stay here. Option is to use the left hand by the left inside of foot. The right hand then can just smuggle behind you, just enough to give you some support to leave the left heel down and raise the right toes up towards the ceiling. So, and again, not everybody's going to do that, but it'll just give us that extra stretch into that right inner thigh. It doesn't matter if your left heel's lifted. Now, if you can get back up from here, that's a bonus. So then we'll use the hands, place the right foot down, creep the hands all the way back to the centre of the mat. Bend the knees, turn the toes out, ready for star pose. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then find our star pose. Firm up both feet, lift your chest, reach up through the fingertips and open wide across the front of the body to show you from the side. So we've got the strength in the thighs, we've got the hips easing slightly further forward, almost like a little mini back bend. Inhale. And then as you exhale, let the arms float down. Well done. Now turn our left toes out to the left. So again, you're just mirroring me. Your left toes out to the left. Your left heel in line with your arch of your right. Your right toes are facing the edge of the mat. So have a look at that first. Yeah, good. Float the arms up. Inhaling. I want you to feel a really good stretch, particularly on this top side of the body now as well. So left shin faces forward, pulls forward. Your left thigh pulls up towards your hip, the outside edge of your right foot onto the mat there. And then reaching out, so from the waist, reaching out, so the fingertips head over your toes. Exhale and tip, so yeah, lovely. Now firm up both thighs. Support the knee by tensing this left thigh, so we don't just lock out that knee. The back of your hand rests onto the shin, and we can look up towards our right thumb. Now, if you can draw the ribs in and draw the tummy muscles in a little bit, and then maybe even push that right hand in towards that imaginary kind of wall there, so just push that in. And then from here, we can ease our way down. So now our fingertips just touch the ankle on our left side. We don't have to do that. We haven't bent the knee to get there. We're just stretching over. Yeah, lovely. So we're not bending the left knee. We're tightening that left thigh and easing our way down. Wonderful. Take a breath in. And a breath out, triangle pose. Good, inhale, we can soften the knee on the left and then exhale our way all the way back up to our start position. Wonderful work gang. Lower the arms, turn the left toes in, bend the knees and then jump in. Well done, beautiful. Okay. Tree pose, so now we've got those hips open. Let's see what our tree pose feels like. So standing on your left foot. Good, and then when you're ready, just turning out from our right hip to slide the right foot. Just maybe to rest on the ankle. Does that feel okay? Or come up to our calf. That might feel quite nice. Good, or we can bring the foot all the way up to that inside of the thigh. Whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to go on the calf there. So opening the right knee to the right and then bringing our hands just to our prayer. Well done. The same connection with our left thigh now. So that sense that you're tensing the quad just to pull it up towards your hip. And that just helps support the knee joint. Yeah, you can have a little bit of softness in the knee if that feels better. Inhale the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Lengthen up through both sides of the waist, soften the shoulders. Notice the fingers and the palms just lightly together. Fine just to put the foot down and just rest the toes on the ground. That's quite nice. Now, rather than worrying about where the right foot is there. A little bit of pressure from your foot to your left leg. That'll help stabilise us. Hold 5. Inhale and exhale 4. Doesn't matter if we wobble or waver. Holding 3. Notice the hips are level. There's length through the spine. 2. Good. And then last breath, inhaling. And then as we release the arms, we can release the right leg and put the foot to the ground. Take a breath. Well done. Maybe have a little shake out of the legs now. Good. And then standing on our right leg. Make sure you've got a bent knee if you know you've got any issues through the knees. It'll just help rather than locking that leg out. Just have a little bit of softness in the knee. So turning out from our left hip, take your time. Well done, go. Lengthen up through the spine, relax the shoulders. You're doing brilliantly. Bring the foot just to rest on the ankle with the toes on the ground, or bring the foot up just to your calf, or reach down to bring it a little bit higher and push the foot into your inner thigh. Then bring the hands to prayer. Well done. Open the left knee to the left. A little bit of firmness of our right thigh, right glute. And then when you're ready, inhale the arms up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Good. Relax the shoulders. Again, lengthen through both sides of the waist. Very nice. Good. Remember, you can have the hands in prayer, just resting at the heart center. Absolutely fine to do that. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. 3 more breaths. And our last breath. Let the hands come down, releasing. And at the same time, we could release the left leg and place the foot to the ground. Really well done. Bring the feet to hip width. Inhale both arms all the way up to the ceiling. Clasp hold of your right wrist. A little softness in the shoulders. And then holding onto that right wrist, travelling over towards our left side. Noticing both feet grounded and back into that lovely side stretch. Inhaling the arms up, taking hold of your left wrist with your right hand, grounding both feet as we exhale over to our right side. Again, noticing that right side body, left side body, sorry. Inhaling all the way up to the start, and then release the arms down on the exhale. Come to the front edge of your mat. I'm just going to move my blocks out of the way there. Good, and then we're going to roll our way down just to 4-point kneeling. So roll all the way down for me. So we can take a little nod, look up to the ceiling. Take a nod of your chin to your chest, take a breath in. And then we can ease our way down on our next exhale. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Coming down. Maybe softening the knees, but again, maybe noticing the backs of the legs. A little bit freer. And then we can step back with the left leg to come onto our knee. And we can pull the right leg back to come to kneeling. Well done. Yeah, we can take the knees a little bit wider, bring the toes together, sit the hips back. Just feeling comfortable there. And then when you're ready, camera side, we can reach all the way up. Doesn't matter which way you're going, so we're just going to repeat. So carrying on with that little bit of a twist, inhaling up, firmness in our supporting arm. And then as we exhale, just coming down, just bringing the arm back to our start. Good, so inhaling opposite side, opening the supporting arm, sitting the shoulder blade into that little back pocket as we twist again, getting that mobility through the spine, and then exhaling as we come down to our start. Good, we'll take that to thread of the needle, so the weight can be back into the hips, inhaling, start to twist. So inhaling, rotating round, looking up towards those fingertips, opening across the chest. And then as we exhale, threading the arm through, so arm comes under the chest, the back of the shoulder comes down towards the mat, maybe the side of the head. Again, you can use your block here, which can be quite nice just to support the head. if you wanted, and then we can reach the opposite arm out towards the end of the mat. I'll just show you from here. So we've gone there, so you can have your head just nicely on the bottom side of the head, and then you can have your other arm out. Yeah, lovely. That's it. Deep inhale, cross the back body, deep exhale. Good. Then when you're ready, bring the top arm or the stretched arm back in a little bit, and then that'll help you unravel all the way back to your start. Good, and then same to the other side. So again, I'm going to choose my block here. So inhaling opposite side, we're reaching all the way around. Breastbone facing that side. Yeah, lovely. Good, and then as you come down, exhaling through, sliding through. If you've got your block, then the side of your head can rest on the block, so you don't have to get too low into that. That can help the shoulder. Now, remember, we're not trying to thread the arm under. We're still keeping length through the spine. And then we're reaching the opposite arm out towards the front edge of the mat. So the fingertips creep towards that front edge of the mat. So inhaling wide into the back of the body. Feel that across the shoulder blades. Just the middle of the back, the bra line between those shoulder blades. A little bit higher, a little bit lower. Good. Then when you're ready, bringing the hands slowly back. Good, that gives us a little bit of pressure now to unravel all the way back to our start position. Move the block, bring ourselves to kind of our Sphinx pose position. Bring the knees back to hip width. Yeah, firm up the hands, tuck the toes. Yeah, dolphin pose. So really get that feeling of strength in the lower body. So the feet, around the calves, the thighs. Yeah, nothing wrong with staying with this or even going into puppy pose instead. Yeah, so if you've had enough through that upper body. Yeah, otherwise from here we can inhale. And then as we exhale, it's our downward facing dog just on our forearms. And as we pull the hips up and back, our head comes between those inner elbows. We can then press the heels a little bit lower towards the ground. Well done. Good, remember you can still have the knee bent position there. Last breath, bend the knees and pop our way down towards the mat. From here, we'll scoop all the way back, bringing the arms to the side of the body and resting the forehead just lightly on the mat. Have a little bit of movement side to side. Inhaling and exhaling, just as we head, just to calm ourselves down just a little. Yeah, and then slowly bring the hands forward. Well done. And then our last little posture this morning, just our regular pigeon pose. Remember, you could do this on your back. If it felt better, you could do it in seated. You could use the wall. Yeah, so absolutely fine to do a variation of your pigeon. So if we come up to kneeling, if you're joining me, we're just then going to scoop our left knee, your left knee comes towards your left wrist. Your left foot then comes in towards the centre of the mat. So your heel's pretty much under your pubic bone. And then we can start to ease the opposite leg back. The right leg can go back just enough to start to feel a little bit of a pull into that left side. Good. And then from here we can lower ourselves down, just inhaling and exhaling. We can use a block under the hip. We could even use a block to rest on, which is quite nice. It means that we don't have to come too low to the ground if that feels better. Yeah. Or we can rest all the way down and use our block just to rest our forehead on as well. That can be quite nice. So you want to feel quite a generous stretch into the buttock and the outer thigh of whichever version we're on there. And we're just going to take 3 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling, maybe stretching out the right leg, letting the body rest over the thigh on that left side. Last breath here. When you're ready, we'll bring ourselves up. We'll tuck the back toes to free our left leg. Yeah, and then we'll do exactly the same on the right. So you can be in your kneeling, and then your right knee comes up towards your right wrist. Your right foot comes a little bit in towards the centre of the mat, or you can make that more of a right angle if that's okay. And then you start to scoot your left leg back, so that then the heel is pretty much in line with your pubic bone. Your hips are square onto the mat. And again, you can use a block, particularly a bigger block, under that right hip. So that can just give you a little bit of support there if you want it. You can use your block like we did for the upper body, or you can lay yourself down and rest on the mat there. See if you can relax into that. Some of us are doing our reclining pigeon pose, some of us are using the wall there, whichever works for you. Adapting so that your knee feels comfortable and safe. Last breath. Slowly, when you're ready, bring yourself up. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then free up the leg. Well done. So then we could find ourselves in a comfy position. We're going to practice a little bit of nasal breathing this morning as our kind of breath practice. So you might want your block, you might want an extra layer, you might want some socks on, you might want your blanket ready for Shavasana. I'm going to pop my lights off now because there's enough sunshine going on out there. So get everything to hand that's going to make you feel really comfy. Good, and bring yourself to either lying, to sitting against the wall, whatever works for you now. Good. Just give everybody a moment to get comfy. Well done. So feel free to use your sofa, your bed, your wall, whatever feels good for you to feel a little bit supported there. Wherever we are, whether we're lying or whether we're sitting, we want to feel length through the spine. And for our breath work, it's really important that we're sitting upright or lying in a position where our pelvis is level. So if we end up here, it means that we can't really get our breath fully into our pelvic floor or our tummy. And you can tell that, can't you? You know, if you go into that, you're kind of quite restricted. Equally, if we're tilted forward, we might feel, again, that similar sort of restriction. So in an ideal world, we've got ourselves right upon our sit bones, and then the crown of the head kind of almost over the centre of the pelvis. And then that frees up the tummy to soften and the pelvic floor to soften. And that's what we want. We want to be able to breathe well and fully. We want the diaphragm to be able to soften as we inhale. And then as we exhale, just lift. And that can help with our pelvic floor connection and our breath work as well. Yeah. So just making sure that you're up and upright. Nice and upright, so you're right on those sit bones. And if the wall helps, that's even better. Yeah. So then we can close our eyes and just start gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. Just notice the breath coming in. And we've been working on the breath coming into the tummy and the waist and the chest. And then exhaling from the chest and the waist and the tummy. And if that doesn't work, we're just filling the body up with the breath. And we're just exhaling and releasing the breath. So please don't get, hung up about it. When all that feels okay, we could stay here and we could just enjoy that. We could enjoy breathing in and breathing out, relaxing the shoulders. And if we wanted to try our nasal breathing, we can use our thumb just on our right nostril, and our ring finger is going to be over our left nostril, not at the same time, obviously. But if we could close off our right nostril with our right thumb and just breathe through your left nostril. So I'm mirroring you. So it's like inhale and exhale. So your right thumb just nestled over your right nostril. Good, and then release. Close up your left nostril just with your ring finger or middle finger, whichever works for you. And breathe through your right. Good, just gentle inhale and exhale. And just notice the difference in kind of capacity of each nostril there. There's nothing hocus pocus about it, it's just breathing through one nostril. That's all we're doing. Okay, then we're going to try a little bit of rhythm, so we can breathe in through our right nostril, close our right, and breathe out through the left. In through the left, close the left, and out through the right. Inhale right, close the right, exhale through the left. Inhale left, close the left, and out through the right. Good. Inhale for 4. Close the right, exhale out through the left for 4. Inhale left for 4. Close the left, repeat. Exhaling out through the right, or just the count of 4, inhaling and exhaling. 4 more rounds, exactly the same. And release the hand if you're doing your nasal breath. Now inhaling, exhaling both nostrils. Just find your own rhythm, your own breath. And just maybe noticing, even after that short practice, maybe a little bit more clearer airways. And then just bringing yourself to Shavasana when you're ready. So you can open your eyes and pop yourself down to our final few minutes of our practice. So we could get our blanket, get our cushion. We're going to do our clench and release, so just enjoy that. Remember, we'll try not to do too much clenching of the toes because it quite often gives us cramp. So we could think more of the arch of the foot. Get yourself super comfy. So maybe get your blanket, get your cushion. Might feel a little bit indulgent for 10:30 on a Tuesday morning, but it isn't. It isn't. Should be really part of our daily practice, shouldn't it? Close your eyes, soften your face, soften your shoulders. And just back to where we were at the start of our practice this morning. But notice you're likely to feel quite a bit calmer. Starting with the lower body, breathing in and just giving the feet a little bit of a clench, maybe keeping those toes relaxed. I know that's not easy, but less into the toes, more into the arch of the foot. And then releasing. It doesn't matter if any other body part gets involved, you know what, it's all one, isn't it? We're all one. Can we tense the calves and the shins? Not easy without getting the feet involved, but try it. Tense those calves. We talked about our shins this morning. I know it's an area that, isn't kind of something we're always talking about, is it? So kind of difficult to get the mind and the body going. Have a go. And then releasing. A little bit easier then to tense the fronts and the backs of the thighs without the shin, without the feet, but the buttocks tend to get involved there, so don't worry if they do. Inhale and exhale. Let's go glutes just by themselves if we can. So tighten the buttocks and we lift off the mat. So energy from those really great muscles that support the body. Support the pelvic floor, support the back. Exhaling, releasing when you're ready. And then tightening the tummy muscles. Could you hug the tummy muscles in? Could you hug the hip bones in just to tighten everything around the front of the body, and then exhale, release. With the arms at the side of the body, could we make a light fist? Clench the fist, the forearm, the triceps, the biceps, the fronts and backs of the arms, the shoulders. Can we tense that whole arm, whole hand, inhaling. And then both arms release and relax. The shoulders get involved now as we tense the chest. So tighten the chest by giving those pecs a little squeeze, drawing the shoulders maybe a little forward, noticing the back of the body as well, inhaling. And let go on that exhale. And then we come to our face and we give the face a little scrunch up. We close the eyes, we bring the mouth together, bring the mouth to the nose to the mouth, the eyes to the nose. Or even wrap the ears around to the front. And then let go. And then everything is one. So the feet, the shins, and the calves, the quads, the backs of the thighs, the inner thighs, the glutes, the tummy, make a fist, the arms, the chest, the shoulders, the back, the face. Inhaling and exhale. Let go. And breathe just a steady breath. Soft inhale. Light exhale. Nothing to do. Just feel the whole body and mind just settle a little bit more. Notice the calmness of the mind and the body. clearing breaths, inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth, sighing out, and then again. Fill up the body and then sigh out breath. The last time. Blink open eyes. Permission to stay exactly where you are for as long as you like. Or join me just coming to sitting. Slowly coming over onto your side. And bring yourself up to wherever works. Deep inhale to bring the arms up. Bring the thumbs to the forehead for wisdom and knowledge. To our lips, kind words. And to your heart center for gratitude. Namaste.